Gertjan will start off with the 4 ins to the squad. How did Ben Halloran go first at training this morning?
Okay.
Good enough to play tomorrow?
He is selected for the squad, the 18. Yes.
Are you expecting to play some part tomorrow, or is he?
If you're on the bench or you are a starter, if you're in the squad, you can play.
And we'll also go through Stefan and Straney as well, both 100% as well, and everything good with them?
Yeah, they trained the whole week. Last week also, the last training before the game against Victory, they already trained with the team, and this whole week they finished and make a good impression, so they also selected. Yeah.
And that's nice to be only having a couple. I think it's Al Hassan and Nathan with the only injury, so you've almost got a full squad to pick from finally.
That's why I had a lot of individual talking with some players to explain why not selected.
Was that tough?
No. That's my job.
Did they understand why they're not selected, the players that aren't picked?
I don't know if they understand, but I explain. And always you make your thoughts, and the players have the right to know what my thoughts are. And I don't. Maybe they think different, but that's why I'm coach and they're a player.
Just re-signing Ben Halloran for a new season, is that a good thing for you? Is that one of your men that you wanted to be here for next season?
It's not good for me. It's good for the club, for Adelaide United. Ben is a good player. He started in all the games. In the last few weeks, he was in a good shape. He scored a lot of goals. And with his speed, he is one of our better players. He's also now an experienced player, so he has to become now the leader, one of the leaders of the team.
But it's got to be reassuring. You can start. I know we're still in this season, but you could look to next season and start building the foundation for a different sort of team. Maybe you're going to lose some players. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but my job is for 98% is now for the moment, for tomorrow, and not for next season. That's more Bruce, and of course the other 2% is talking about players you do it the whole year, about which players are you satisfied, what are your wishes, but that's only 2% of my job in this moment, and that will become 5%, it will become 10%, and when the playoffs are done, you only be busy with the next season.
Just last time you played Western on the AFL ground, it was a big score. I mean, you're 3-1 up at one stage, and then they came back, and then obviously Nathan scored the winner. Are you expecting more or less the same, open, attacking, free-flowing?
When there is an opponent who wants to win and also play attacking football, then it will be an open game with a lot of chances I hope for one team. But I'm not sure, because we work hard for the defense as a team, and we're still searching a little bit what fits the best for this team. It also a little bit depends on what players you have, because now I have different players than last week. So you can also make some decisions about the way they defend and how they attack. And yesterday in the last training, in the last tactical training, it went very well. But you don't have a guarantee that's working also very good in tomorrow.
Who's the main concern there? Is it because I noticed Diamante, he plays like as wherever he wants to go in the attacking third, he goes. So is that a concern for you, that he could be on the right, he could be a left central?
No. My biggest concern, our biggest problem is when we play too wide. So there's too much space between our striker and our defenders. Then we have big problems with our way from playing. in the transition to keep a clean sheet. So that doesn't. I don't care about names of the opponent, and of course they have some good players. Diamante is one of them. But I believe in the game we played there, he gets in the last 20 minutes he had to go out of the squad because he was tired. He's already an older player. So when we run a lot and we are very dynamic, they have also to do defense work. And if not, we are a dangerous team. And you see, we scored 33 goals. We are in the top 4. But we have also 34 goals against us, and that's second less. Only Central Coast has more goals against them.
So just with Diamante, so you're going to try to make him run a lot tomorrow to make him maybe more fatigued?
It's always strikers don't like to defend. So it's always about the way you play. Are you capable to have the ball a lot and they have to run after the ball? That's not what Diamante like. So he went to rest, and if you don't give him that rest, he has to do it. And if not, he will go to the side. The trainer will get him out.
Just you said there's too much space from the defence to the attackers. Is it because the defenders aren't pushing up, or is the attackers not dropping back? What is it?
It's a combination. Sometimes the timing is not. We want to play proactive football, so we want to decide when we press. Then is timing very important. When you're too late. Then it becomes very open, and the defenders get scared, and they will run back. That's a natural feeling, and then you get a lot of spaces in the midfield. So also when one is not switched on by pressing, so there's starting one with pressing, and one is not working or is not. Be aware that we are pressing, you also get problems in your defense. So it's not easy.
You speak about the defense and the amount of goals that they've conceded. How long do you persist with the players and the strategy that you've got there?
I don't understand the question.
When do you start looking at making wholesale changes to the defense if they keep on conceding and keep on not providing clean sheets? Do you make drastic changes, or do you feel you'll just stick through it no matter what?
But why should I have drastic?
Well, you talk about the fact that you're the second worst defence with goals in the league. So
but then you have to analyse how comes that you get so many goals against. And a lot of times we have also a young team. I explained that last week in the press conference. The second goal of victory. Louis is 18 years old. And he made the mistake to give a header to the opponent. Then the whole field is open. You can better put that ball outside because he's the last man at that moment because we had a corner attack. And then you have to know you can't lose the ball there. And better than is giving a throw-in away. But that he has to learn. You can't expect that from an 18-year-old boy. And the first goal is a throw-in, and that's not the first time. And that has to do with discipline. That has to do with responsibility. The players have their own responsibility. And therefore you need leaders on the field who says against the guys like Jacob, like Paul Iso, like Ben Holland. That are the leaders of the team, and they have to be aware that those players don't fall asleep. And that's the main reason, I think. I think we have 10, maybe 12 or 15 goals from situations where there's where we're not switched on. With free kicks, corners, throw-in. We have the ball and we pass the ball in the feet of the opponent. It has nothing to do with great attacking football from the opponent. Yeah, and then you lose games. And so attacking football is for 90-95% creativity and a little bit discipline about the vision the trainer has. But defense is about 90-95% of discipline and less creativity. And that discipline we have to work on. And discipline has to do with responsibility.
How is Louis after last weekend? Was he still upbeat this week? And he's played a lot this year. Is he someone that you'll look at resting or giving some time off?
Why?
Just because he's a young kid, I'm not sure if the workload is too much or too little. Or...
The numbers are good.
And psychologically, after last week's game, he's okay? He got over it pretty quick?
Yeah, that's also nice from young guys. Everything they do, it's new for them, and they don't worry, because sometimes you have a talk with players about after football. But for Louis, when he is 34, like it's almost the time he's now on this planet. He's 18 years. So that's far away from him. So he has the time, and everything what he's playing now he enjoys, and he's a great kid to talk with him about football. And a lot of times he make his analysis. I ask him that, and we watch individual the day after or 2 days after that. We watch the video together, and yeah, he's improving. You see, but he still makes some mistakes. I mean, he's not the only one, but for him, it's not. He's open-minded, and he's not worrying at all. He's a funny guy, and yeah, I don't think it's for him. It's a problem.
Is Mohammed in the squad?
Yeah, Mohammed is in the squad.
So will he see some time? Maybe tomorrow.
I don't know how to. That's when I could see in the future. I wouldn't sit here. I can make a lot of money to tell the people what's going to happen. So I don't know. But he's on the bench, and when you're on the bench, you can get into the team.
But just on money as well, you've come from obviously Dutch football, which has been a breeding ground to sell players across Europe for 4 decades since Cruyff. Have you been instructed here that to bring players up to go to another market? Because you're blooding now a lot of young players, including Mohammed, Louis Dorigo, Yengi, Bichu. Is that part of your instruction? To bring them up to a certain level for an on-sale?
I don't know. That's up to the club. I think that the club has to find their own identity, and I don't think this club will be a buying club. And if you don't want to spend a lot of money at foreign players, you don't get the best one. So you have to ask yourself, do you need a 5 visa player? And there are a lot of good Australian players. For instance, Morg. Why is he playing for Brisbane? Yeah. So I think you have more an own identity when you have the players who are coming from Southeast Australia, from Adelaide. Yeah. You see how it works with Touré. Yeah. First Hassan and now Mohammed. Yeah, the people like that, from their own youth into the first squad. So when you get a foreign player, he has to be really good. And look after the last few years, what bring the foreign players. If you look at Mirko, he's a good player, but how many games he has played? He was also already a lot of injured by Marco, the former trainer. And also this year he had physical problems. And those guys, yeah, it costs a lot of money. So that's the decision the club has to make. Yeah, how do we want to be seen, and what are the expectations? And we are now lucky that we have a lot of good youth players. So We have El Hassan Touré, his brother Mohamed Touré. We have Kusini. So they are good. We have Lauren Brook. So if you don't give him the chance to play, yeah, they will never get good A-League players or somewhere else. They go to Central Coast, or they go to Brisbane, or they go to where, and then 2-3 years later you have to get them back. So it's a choice what you make as a club. And I'm here only a visitor for 1 or 2 years, and I work with the players I need to.
So just going on next year, there's only one visa player who's got a contract with your final year, or could be your final year. That's Maria. Would you recommend no more, or to sign, or how would you work it?
No, but it's the market. You can't buy players from other clubs here. So you can't buy Australian players away from another club. Only when his contract ended, you can approach him and ask him if he wanted to join our squad. So if they're not Australian players, yeah, and there is in the youth also not one player where you said, okay, he will do it next year. But sometimes you don't know, because in the beginning of the season I didn't have expect that Louis would be playing so many games for Adelaide United. So sometimes you also have Louis had the luck, yeah, that we didn't buy one. We couldn't find one, yeah. So he get a chance, and now we're not searching for a 32-year-old number 6, because we have Louis, because the 32 is coming, yeah. Louis is not playing, he's not getting better.